Okay, so I'm sure you've heard about the YouTube earnings issue and updating your information. I did another video. It looks like a few people have commented, and I thought I went through it step by step, but this is to give you even more information. So a few days on, people have commented, so I'm going to use those comments to give you details back to help you. So let's get back into this. I'm going to show you my screen. I'm going to go through it one by one and explain each of the points. So when you first get onto it, it's going to ask you, this is like the broken down view. So I've actually given you all the steps. Normally you'll select each box, and as you select each box, you'll see additional options. So the first thing is your UTR number and TIN number and national insurance number. That's a whole kettle of fish. It depends on your needs. If you're registered as self-employed, you can have a UTR number, which you can use. And the UTR number is normally relating to your self-employment type situation. If you don't have that, then you're going to have a national insurance number, which can also be used. Obviously, if you're earning under £1,000 annually, that you can't register self-employed, so that's where that comes into play. Use the number that you have. If you're self-employed, you'll know you're self-employed. That's when you have a UTR. If you don't, use the national insurance number. Again, apart from that is the one by one step here. So you need to know this. What type of account is your account? Are you an individual, which is like one person, you're doing it yourself, or are you a non-individual and you're an entity? So basically you're a group, or you're set up as a company. That's what that question means. Next question is, are you a citizen or resident of the United States? Obviously, if you're in the UK, my one is mainly UK, so I did no. When you select no, it gives you two more options. Hopefully you can see these on screen. I boxed everything out in the video, but what I've done is taken snapshots and actually boxed out just my name and stuff and my personal information. So you do know. The next thing is, based on your previously selected answers, a form is needed. So you need to fill out one of these forms. I selected the form W8BEN, B-E-N. This form is most commonly used by non-US individuals and would also be used to claim tax treaty benefits, which is what we're going to be doing because we're in the UK. So that's that form. The next screen you will get after that is going to be this one, where it asks you to put your name. So make sure this information is exactly the same as your tax documents. This is your national insurance number, it'll be your name. It's asking name of individual because we went through that option on the start screen. And we also signed with the same name. So here you'll select your drop down boxes here saying your country. And here you'll see a taxpayer identification number. TIN is a tax processing number required by the IRS for some tax forms. More about TIN, you can select that. It gives you a drop down box and it tells you information about it. For foreign TIN, I've cut a bit off there, haven't I? Can I move that along? Don't include any other foreign personal identification such as Korean residence registration numbers. If you are claiming treaty, you are required to provide a foreign TIN. So this TIN now at the moment, there's a lot of people that have questioned this. And I think from my point of view, what I did was, that is a number that they can identify our UK accounts from. So I use my national insurance number, which is an equivalent. If that's right or wrong, that is yet to be confirmed. My application was approved. However, based on the information I have got and to my knowledge, that is the right number to give them. If I was registered self-employed, then I'll give them that different number. So I put that foreign TIN in there, and optional unless you're claiming a tax treaty. We are claiming a tax treaty, that's why I entered it. The next one is number 2. You'll see down the side there's actually numbers. So the first section was number 1, the blue little box up here, if you can see that, and the next one is number 2. So let's have a look at the next section. So number 2 is my address. I basically put my address in, which is the information there. Then the next one is number 3. So here you'll see summarized is my address, which I've just blocked out. So in that white box, there would have been my address. If you have a PO box or address different to that, it asks you in that for a select down for that. It's pretty straightforward. And number 3, tax treaty. Are you claiming a reduced rate of withholding under a tax treaty? When you click on that little I, it gives you more information, so you can read up on that. So the first thing is no, and the second option is yes. Yes, I selected because resident of a country claiming tax treaty with the US, the UK is part of that, so I clicked yes. The next section is 4. Well, actually, wait a minute. There may be more options on that. Okay, so you can see that 3 times basically. Now, if I tick the next box here, motion pictures and TV, YouTube and Google Play, if you get paid by Google apps or anything like that, these are additional things that you could possibly be paid with. Other copyright, YouTube or Google Play. So I ticked all 3 in that example. And then you select article for each one of those because it relates to that, and then the lowest rate, because ideally you don't want to pay any tax, but you might have a reduced rate. This is 0%. That earlier thing that I couldn't read in full, I'm reading to you now. It's basically the same tick box asking you, you're ticking it to confirm it. So I'll read it now because I can see all of it. As a tax resident of the country identified in the tax identity section, which in my case was the United Kingdom, which I selected, the individual identified, which is me, in the tax identity section meets the required terms of a treaty and doesn't have a permanent establishment in the US. That's right, I don't have an establishment in the US, or the right or property in respect of which the royalties are paid isn't effectively connected with a permanent establishment or fixed base. So this royalties business is a bit confusing. You might want to get tax expert advice on that from a legal expert, but I don't have any royalties being paid from another company outside the UK to me, which is what I interpret that to mean. If I'm wrong, you need to check that out in the comments. Let me know how else that can be interpreted, and you might need to get advice before you select the option. So apart from that, I ticked all of them. I filled out those and put 3 ticks in those boxes and 3 ticks in the additional confirmation boxes. And then the next section would be the tax treaty is this. So I've ticked that and I've claimed 0%. Document review preview. What that's telling you is I've got 2 documents there that I have in this form agreed to, and that makes it into PDF actual documents, which then you can click on those blue boxes and check those to make sure the information is correct. And you tick this box here to say, I confirm that I have reviewed the generated tax documents to the best of my knowledge and believe they are true, correct and complete. Yes, and I tick that, and then I go to the next point, which is number 5, certification. I might be going through this a bit quickly, but if you want to slow down the YouTube video, you can do if you want more information. This is the interesting bit here. So certification. Under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have examined the information on this form and to the best of my knowledge and belief it is true, correct. Is there any more text there? True, correct and complete. I further certify under penalties of perjury that I am the individual that is the beneficial owner, or I'm authorized to sign of the individual that is beneficial owner. It's me, so that doesn't apply to me. All of the income to which this form relates, or I'm using this form to document myself for Chapter 4 purposes. The person named in the tax identity section in this form is not a US person, correct? The income to which the form relates, i.e. not effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business in the United States. Yes, that's point A. B, effectively connected with it is not subject to tax under an application income tax treaty, or C, the partner's shares of a partnership's effectively connected income. So yeah, let me dissect that. Not effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business in the United States. Okay, I'm not. B, effectively connected but is not subject to tax under any applicable income tax treaty. No, because I don't have any other tax treaties with any countries or connected with countries. Subjects, right, is not subject to tax under an applicable income tax treaty. Yeah, I'm not subject to it because the tax treaty covers that. The partner's share of a partnership effectively connected income. So no partners of mine get income. So for example, if there's a company, I was a partner, someone else was a partner in the US, I was getting something. No, because if I'm a partner, that would act like my company, if that makes sense. So I don't have any of that. So that doesn't apply to me. So that's why I'm certifying that. The person named in the tax identity section of this form is a resident of the treaty country listed in the tax treaty section of the form. Yes, if any, within the meaning of the income tax treaty between the US and the country, and for broker transactions or barter exchanges, the beneficial owner is exempt for foreign person. I am exempt foreign person. I don't know what that beneficial barter exchanges and broker transactions mean, because I don't do any of those. Furthermore, I authorize this form to be provided to any withholding agent that has controlled receipt or custody of the income of which I am beneficial owner, or any withholding agent that can disperse or make payments of the income of which I am the beneficial owner. Okay, so what I think that means is I'm filling this document out for a legal entity, because Google are going to give this to the taxman at their country. So this is saying I'm giving this to the taxman. However, as Google AdSense is paying the AdSense, they are the person in this scenario that would be the beneficial, they disperse the money. to us. So I'm letting them actually do that, basically, if that makes sense. I put my full legal name. Then here, are you the person listed in the signature section? Yes, I am the person named above. On behalf of, no, I am signing on behalf of a person. If this is like a company and you're a person of a company. So if you like, if you have a channel, but the owner of the channel is someone else, but someone else does all the tax work for them, like an accountant or something, that's where you'll use that different box. After that, then you have these interesting boxes, which I might timestamp because you want these ones as the main ones. These ones are, let me scroll up, 2 questions. Activities and services performed in US and affidavit. So, activities and services performed in the US. You can click on the I box and gives you information. Has the individual or entity identified in the tax identity section performed any activities and services before Google within the US? So this is asking you, as a person on this form, have you done any activities and services for Google within the US? No, I haven't. I don't do any type of situation there. So I did no. Status change affidavit is the next one. Are you providing tax info for a new or existing payments profile that hasn't received payments? What that means is, if you have a Google AdSense account, have you been paid AdSense before? Have you taken money from that before? If you have, then you are providing for an existing payments profile because you've had a payment before. If you've never had a payment before, I'm providing tax info for a new or existing payments profile that hasn't received payments. One is, I haven't received money from AdSense before. If you're a new person being monetized, that's the one you select. If you've been monetized, you get money. You would say, I have been receiving funds previously. It's just an update. I'm trying to make this as clear as possible because some people have asked questions. That's all that. Okay. Yes, that's just that same question again. I've gone back just to make sure I cover it. Is there anything else? Okay, so there is approved. 9th of March, originally done. And then that's the form I selected and it said claimed there. So you'll notice on the previous application, I only selected AdSense. However, in the bottom, if you notice, it says, if I ever get any money from motion pictures and TV default, whatever that is in the future, the rate applying there is 30%. So that would not have been good because I don't want to pay that. So what I did is I went back into AdSense, logged in, looked at that information and then click submit new form. If you click submit new form, the same thing comes up again. So you can fill it out another time, which overrides or adds to what you did. So I did that because I wanted to get, see here, the difference. I got 0% claim for that, and that. So I've got 3 0% because I'm in the UK treaty. If previously I only selected 1, you'll see here it says claimed for 1. However, the other 2 is 30%, which ideally, if I ever do earn that, I don't want to pay 30% on. So while it's fresh in my memory, I just went back in and submitted a new form and made sure all 3 were ticked, which is what I talked to you about earlier. I'm hoping this helps you. Longer video, but a more detailed explanation. If you have any comments, let me know below, and I'll link you to another video here which explains more about this process. See you in the next video.